and welcome to Strange Mysterious World, Season 5, Episode 6. Tonight's guest hails all the way from the United States. He's actually, I think, 10 hours behind us. It's like early in the morning there and like late at night here. His name is Brent Michael Phillips, aka the Miracle Engineer. He's a master healer and miracle technologist. He developed something called Awakening Dynamic as a system that helps people transform and heal. So cool.
Cool, man. So is that the MIT?
Chat to him. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's see. I know he uses the consciousness as a tool, as like a technology, the consciousness. So that's going to be another little thing in our, because we're currently building this whole massive system ourselves, from remote viewing to psychometry to, so we're going to start our own religion soon.
Yeah, but you got to pay a lot of money.
Watch this space.
You got to pay a lot of money to join, and there's all these levels you get to, and you got to get pay more money at every level.
Yeah, exactly. That's if you want to join.
Enlightened.
Yeah. So when you join, you're going to start up joining. You got to pay $1,000 to join. Yeah. No, only kidding. Don't worry. Okay.
Hey, Brent.
Hello. How you doing?
Brent, well, and you?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing all right.
Awesome,
Good,
man. Nice and early in the morning there for you.
It is. It's I've been up for a little while, but yeah, it's 8 a.m. here.
Okay, awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 6 p.m. by us.
Oh, yes. I'm envious.
Awesome.
I like your room. You could do a bit of music.
Yeah, music is my artistic passion. So.
Oh, yeah, that's what Lee's also his artistic passion. Hey, Lee?
Oh, cool.
No, not really.
No, you know why we're laughing is because we had this lady on. She does divination with cheese.
Uh-huh.
So she's busy like reading Lee's I don't know, his life or his future, or whatever. And she goes, "Oh, I see you like into music," and he's like, "No, I'm not." And then he's like, "Well, I see it here." And then he's like, "Yeah, well, I release a track every week, I'm like, that's kind of my hobby." And then she's like, "Oh, so you just blatantly just lied."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different to what you do. That's like I go with AI and all that kind of stuff. So that's not really considered music.
Yeah, I mean, I had a band and wrote an album and recorded it back in the old days. It was a lot of work. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lee, you're not making real music.
No.
I'm just joking.
That's why I said. Yeah.
Different tool. Yeah.
Okay, so Brent, so yeah, it's very interesting. So you use consciousness as technology.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
How does that work? I mean, we're very big on consciousness. That's one thing that we.
Yeah. There are laws of the universe that govern consciousness, just like gravity or electromagnetism. And if we can understand those laws, we can then engineer consciousness to apply it as technology.
Okay.
Oh,
and how did you get into this, Brent?
I experienced a miracle. That's how I got into it.
Okay.
So I had, in the 90s, I had my computer startups, internet startups, and I destroyed my body with overwork. And I spent 3 years with conventional therapy, 5 years with alternative therapy. Nothing helped me. And then I went to see this crazy healer lady that did something with theta brainwaves in the subconscious. And I had my arm was paralyzed at the elbow. And in my first session, it went pop, and I got my arm back. So that's the 30-second version.
Wow. So was it like theta beats on your like headphones? Like
you can use that, but it can also be done as an entrainment. So when I work one-on-one with people, I just entrain them.
Okay.
When I first started, I used the binaural beats a lot as a learning aid for sure.
Okay.
So how do you train them? I mean, sorry, I don't want to give you away a secret and everybody steals the thing, but
there's a process I learned. It's a short version. I mean, I could sit here for 3 hours and teach it to you, but we don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so there's a process. You learn how to get yourself into theta, and then how to entrain others into theta, and then you can work with the subconscious. So I just see it as software engineer.
Oh yeah, sure. The software, your wetware.
Yep, exactly.
Wow, so this is like a course you do on your website or whatever, or do you do it in
Yep. I teach people how to do it. Whether it's that one way.
Okay, cool, man.
All right. because I've found a couple of times we've done these binaural beats. You get these like 432 hertz and this hurts and
Yep.
that hurts, and you put them in and nothing ever works. I don't know. It's like, someone says, "Oh, you're definitely going to astral project tonight. Just listen to this for half an hour and you'll be
Yeah,
out."
I haven't had any success with that level of it.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh,
I
Brent.
do know how to build the bonnet with an EEG.
Okay.
So I know that if you build the beats properly, it's just most people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, sure.
And
And
that's,
I,
honestly, that's the problem with the whole self-improvement world. There's a lot of idealistic, well-intentioned people that just don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
yeah, I know, and it becomes like a fad, and like they all learn all of the same language, and they just repeat. I actually found that a
Yep.
lot in like the psychedelic world. It's like a lot of these people
Yes.
they become evangelists. I mean, look, some people do have incredible
Hmm.
experiences. I'm not taking that away. Like, absolutely,
Yeah.
100% people do have incredible experiences and some very strong healing things. But I think majority of them, it's just like they go there. It's like this trendy thing at the moment, and then they have an experience, but it doesn't really heal them that much. And then they become an evangelist. They say all the same lingo, the same thing, whatever. But then
Yeah.
it's like I've got some friends, and I kind of look at their lives, and I'm like, dude, you are so like about this stuff. It's like taking over your whole life, but your life's a mess. Like I don't
Yeah. I
know
mean,
what
I've
it's
spent a
done
lot
for
of
you.
time in the psychedelics community, and it's interesting, but I didn't find it healing at all.
Mm.
Okay.
So that was just my experience, though. Other people, no problem. I also spent years doing acupuncture. Didn't do anything for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do a bit of acupuncture myself, but I mean, like, I didn't. Maybe it wasn't the thing I was trying to heal. Maybe it's just not for. It doesn't work with acupuncture. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
But
But
so
it's just the, go ahead,
no, 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 Karen,
go ahead,
Karen.
Lee. I was just going to say that really what it comes down to is where is the core of the problem in your system? That acupuncture is just one tool that accesses the system in a certain way.
Mm.
It would be like, your garage door isn't working, so you call a plumber,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, for
goes through the
sure.
whole house and replaces all your pipes,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
goes, that'll be $8,000, right?
yeah, yeah,
And it doesn't. Your garage door still isn't working. Well, he's working on the wrong system.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
Replace
Well
things that
said.
didn't need replacing, and that's a lot of healing in medicine is people only know what they know.
Yeah,
And if your problem doesn't fit the solution they have, they just blindly apply it and go, sorry, try something else. And that's exactly
yeah.
what happened to me for years and years and years.
I've gone down the same road, Brent. Yeah, because like
And
I
what,
had
what
like
I
a.
found, mhm, for me, the issues were ultimately in my nervous system and the
Mm.
subconscious. In other words, it was
Yeah.
a software problem, not a hardware problem.
Mm.
And doctors wanted to go and cut out my first rib and lengthen my scaling muscle and cut open my wrist and do all these awful things to me.
Wow.
And why? That's the only tool they had. But
Yeah, yeah,
it
sure, for sure.
it
Yeah.
could not solve the problem because it would be like I had a problem with my computer for a while that my network would stop working. And I bought three different network cards trying to fix the problem. And
Mm.
it didn't get any better. And I was so frustrated. Then I finally figured it out. It was a setting in Windows that was turning it off.
Mm.
So
Gee,
it had
that's
nothing
better
to
than
do with the
nothing.
hardware. It was a
Mm.
software. It was a code problem, a setup.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But all the computer techs would tell me is buy a new card. And I kept buying new cards. It didn't solve the problem.
Yeah.
And I found every computer tech knows 99% of your problems are software. Almost always it's software. Every now and then
Yeah.
hardware fails, right? It happens, but it's actually pretty rare. It's always the interaction between all these different systems that you and programs you've installed. That's the source of it. And swapping out hardware can never solve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I found with a lot of people. Most of our problems are in the nervous system and the subconscious. It's a software
Mm.
problem.
But that's also like for doctors, they've all been trained with the hardware. So that's
All
why
they
when you
know
go
is
to
hardware.
doctors, that's why like actually doctors, I mean, I don't want to say they're useless, but like they can't fix anything because they're only good at like when you crash a car
Right.
and they got to sew your leg back together or like you got
Yes.
like some kind of body trauma. But like when it comes to
Yes.
anything else, it's like they just mask it. They put band-aids on everything and then and I think we got to seriously like relook at the whole system because I think it's so outdated.
Well, here's what I think is so interesting. If you look at history, in particular European history, there were two different kinds of medicine that were their own communities. One was called surgeons, that was battlefield medicine. So if you were injured in a war, if you got kicked by a horse, if you fell off the roof, you went to a surgeon. They also had physicians who were there to take care of your health day to day, to make sure you ate well, you got enough rest, that all those things. And they were completely separate professions. And what happened is in the early 20th century, the surgeons got all the political power and crushed the physicians. And so all of modern medicine grows out of the surgeon tradition. And the physicians all disappeared. That a lot of people don't realize in the start of the 20th century in the United States, homeopathy was the primary modality of medical care.
Oh, wow.
Not drugs and surgery, homeopathy. That was the physicians. They were there to take care of your health, your constitution. But the surgeons took over with the American Medical Association and crushed the physicians. And so all the treatments we see today are all drugs and surgery. And it's all just history. And what we need is to bring back the other piece of it. So, for example, traditional Chinese medicine has become very popular because that's a part of what we would have called the physician tradition.
Yeah. And also the people in China, they would only pay their doctors if they were healthy. As soon as they got sick, they wouldn't pay the doctor anymore.
And especially in this country that I live in, if we implemented that, that would solve all of our healthcare problems overnight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It would be that simple. Overnight, every problem solved.
Your doctors, you put them on a subscription, like a subscription base, and you're like always healthy, so you're paying every month, and then as soon as you get sick, like stop the subscription.
You don't pay them until you're better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, fascinating.
So Brent, you mentioned something a little bit earlier, which kind of caught my ear. You were talking about the nervous system. Now, William and I, we belong to the Rosicrucian order. And one of the things that we kind of learn about quite early on is about the nervous system. And there's actually two systems that operate.
Yes.
You've got your conscious and your subconscious, which is what you mentioned. But then there's specific breathing techniques for each to do its specific healing. So I thought that was actually very, very interesting that you mentioned that, because we've been studying that kind of stuff, and it's it's the synchronicity maybe.
Yeah, and also Brent, sorry, actually, when you said that it's like a very natural, it's like a natural law, like consciousness, and they actually teach that. Because I was actually going to say that, and then Lee brought it up, was that in the Rosicrucian monographs that we get every week, it actually starts teaching you how it shows you how it is actually like a natural law, like with electricity, magnetism, it's the same kind of thing. Even like psychic phenomenon, like if you want to see an aura of a candle, or kind of know who's calling you when someone's calling you, it's like they start explaining it like a very cool, like a very nice way to show that this is very natural. It's actually a very natural like law. And also what's so fascinating, because I got to the one thing now, is that it was saying like the periodic table has 144, it's actually got 144 boxes, because the mystics know, Rosicrucians know, that there is actually 144 elements, but we haven't found them all. But there is, in the periodic table, there is 144 boxes. So that like the chemists or the science, they know they haven't found any of them, but some of them are even fake, like not fake, they're made up, But so I just
they can be synthesized in laboratories, but have never been found in nature. But then again, we've only explored a very tiny corner of the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
The only elements we know about are those that you find on the surface of the earth. Period. Right? So it makes sense that no, we haven't seen everything the universe has to offer.
No, 100%.
Yeah. Like M18. What is that stuff, that old what is that guy's name? That
the UFO guy.
Yeah, what is his name that worked at Roswell? And he had he found that element to power the ship, or what is it?
Element 117 or 116, something like that, Joe.
Or whatever.
He found it then, but they found it recently.
But then he said that there's this element, and he kept on going about the element, and then everyone was like, "Oh, you're a lunatic," and then they actually recently found it out that it actually is a thing. but that 144, because that's like the octave, like octaves, spirit octaves of on through frequency. And also
Yes,
apparently that's
and
like how many times, how many cycles it is until you reincarnate or something. And it's all the same thing, but in different forms.
it does seem that the natural base of the universe is base 12, not base 10. Base 10 is an artifact of human biology, 10 fingers, 10 toes.
Oh,
That's where base 10 comes from, what we call the Arabic numeral system. But
okay.
if you look at the math actually works much better in base 12
Okay.
because,
Okay.
and the Egyptians knew about base 12. That's where we get the 72 conspirators of Set and the 360 degrees of a circle. That all comes from ancient Egypt. And
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm not surprised that there are 144 natural elements because that's 12 times 12.
Oh, wow, there you go.
So there you go.
Jeez.
Yep.
And is this what you like? This is a part of your system as well.
It's a small part of it, yes. Though it's interesting you mentioned the Rosicrucians because the woman I first learned from that facilitated the miracle healing on my elbow that got me into this, what she had learned was a system that had originally come from the Rosicrucians,
Oh, wow. Okay. There
that
you
had been
go.
evolved through a couple different teachers into its own thing. In the same way that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu originally came from Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, but evolved into its own thing over time. But
Okay.
the
Wow.
roots are the same. You can see it if you watch it, right? You can see, yeah, these are very similar.
Yeah.
So yes, I think the Rosicrucians have one of the better systems out there.
But
They're
that's
on the
also
right
because,
track. Consciousness,
yeah.
technology, code. There are natural laws that govern the consciousness. And the way I see it is, um, if we look at human history, primitive humans weren't stupid, not at all.
Mm.
So they recognized what electricity was. Of course they did. They could see a
Yeah.
lightning bolt during a storm. They could feel a static shock on a dry winter day. Of course they did. They just didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
Then in the 19th century, we figured it out. Maxwell and Tesla and Edison and all those guys. We
Yeah.
figured out the laws of electricity and put them into math. That allowed us to build technology, electric lights, electric appliances. Now, 100 some years later, electricity runs our lives, doesn't it? It does
Yeah.
everything for us.
But it's interesting you bring that up because actually in antiquity, the Greeks, they actually knew how electricity worked, but it was intuitively. They actually couldn't
Yes,
like they said the ions or something were coming off of they had this like whole theory, but it was more like intuitive than actually because they had no way of practically showing
they
it.
didn't
But
have the
yeah,
math.
and only like
Is what it come
later
down
on
to.
they figured out, oh, now we can show it, replicate and everything, and then all of they were actually right.
Yes, they
Thousands of
simply
years
they
ago.
didn't have the math to explain it.
Yeah.
That's what took so long. And that was also a big hindrance for Einstein when he developed his theory of general relativity. Einstein didn't have the math chops to fully derive it. He had to work with mathematicians and they had
Ah,
to invent new math, but they did it. And that's kind of what I want to be. I want to be in the same way that Tesla was a pioneer of electricity and engineering. I want to be a pioneer of consciousness and engineering. I want to show people you can use your consciousness. It can do practical, everyday things that improve your life.
mm,
And most of us today couldn't imagine living without electricity. How
Yeah,
far
yeah.
would you get in modern society without electricity?
Mm.
not very far.
Nowhere.
Not
Not
no.
very far at all. Unless
No,
you're some kind of mountain man living alone in the wilderness, it's game over.
no, not
And
at
I
all.
think in the future, that's how humans will be. We're all going to learn to use our consciousness. We're all going to be healers. We're all going to know how to manifest, access our intuition
Mm,
in the same way that now we go to school, we learn how to read and write and a bit of history. In the
yeah,
future, they'll also be showing us how to use our consciousness,
yeah,
and that will assuming this planet survives long enough, I think that'll change everything.
yeah, sure. But that's also like the whole Yuga cycle kind of way because we're in the Kali, the Dark Ages,
Hmm.
and now when we go up into the Treta and then the Theta and then the Sata Yugas, like the
Yep.
Bronze, Silver, and then Golden Age. our consciousness changes to a state where we won't, that it would be like magic, like like
Yes.
using a consciousness. That's how they like built the pyramids and stuff. Because like
Hmm.
we're in the Kali Yuga now, and we think we're the most technically advanced era there is because of our technology. But our technology is so destructive. I mean, most of it came out of war anyway. Like, I mean,
Yes, most of us come out of war.
communication. And it's also because we need fossil fuel and everything is so destructive to the environment, and it's just it's terrible technology. I mean, so with all the waves that are in the air and that are like so bad for our health and that, and so even though we think it's so advanced, it's actually barbaric, and it's and when you get into those other areas, like Nikola Tesla, he was obviously ahead of his time because that's actually technology that was probably used in the Treta Yuga, like in
Hmm.
a where our consciousness was way more evolved. But you can see the consciousness evolving because you see all of these like there's a huge trendy thing on the internet now of the kids that are seen through the mask, blindfolded, and all this telekinesis stuff of people turning tinfoil on a toothpick over with a glass thing over it. It's like a big thing that's like moving, and it's like it just shows our consciousness is
Yeah.
going to that
And
thing.
to a limited extent, I've been able to turn that into technology. So
Wow.
I'm not good enough to teach you how to uh, pull your X-wing out of the swamp like in Star Wars, but I can teach almost anyone how to see auras and past lives with their open eyes.
Wow. Okay.
That there is a process to it. And like
Okay.
anything, it's like playing guitar. If you want to play guitar, there's a certain process to it. You need a teacher, you have to practice. But if you do, you'll be able to play guitar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost anyone can learn to play guitar if they're willing to engage the
Put the time.
process.
Mm.
Yeah.
Learning to decrease pain in your body, to see auras and past lives with your open eyes is no different. There is a process to it. I can walk you through the process, and if you're willing to practice, you will get it. Everyone is able
Wow.
to do it. And that's something that even just 10 years ago would have seemed supernatural,
Mm.
way out
Yeah.
there. And that's been part of my curse, both in technology and in healing. I'm decades ahead of the curve. So I'm creating products for which there was no market yet,
Mm.
for the
Well,
same
hey, I
reason
mean,
that Tesla died broke.
yeah.
He was ahead of his time. It was that simple.
Yeah. It
If
wasn't the
Tesla
right
was
time.
alive today, I think he would be a superstar.
Yeah.
Mm.
He'd be a
Yeah.
billionaire.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
he was so ahead of his time, people didn't understand him.
Yeah.
And we're still pouring, there are still researchers, scientists, historians pouring through his notes every day of their lives, trying to gain little insights
Yeah.
because he
I
was
mean, look,
such a genius.
Elon Musk called his car company it
Yep.
Tesla. There's an
Yeah.
Easter egg there. He probably knows something, but he's waiting for the moment to break it out.
Maybe. I don't know.
But, but anyway, tell us more about this technology. Like, is it exercises you do, or is
Well,
it actual like a?
let me give you a little vocabulary first, then we can explain it very easily. What I have found, because I've been doing this work full time as a professional healing practitioner, spiritual teacher for almost 25 years. And what I found is, and I've taken hundreds of seminars, read thousands of books, that we can take all these different processes that energy healing, law of attraction, intuition, talking to your angels, even psychedelics, and we can group them into generations of technology. Not too much different than your cell phone. You got 2G and 3G and 4G, et cetera, right? And so what the first generation is, that's kind of your old school law of attraction, positive thinking. So Think and Grow Rich, The Secret, vision boards, mantras, putting power words on your walls, things like that. It's very primitive and crude technology because it only engages the conscious mind. And this is why most people do not get good results. Some do. The number that's been measured in research is 1%. So
Yeah.
1% of people that do your typical law of attraction from The Secret feel they get good results. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Mm.
Yes, that's
So
terrible.
things to me get interesting in the second generation. The distinguishing mark is this. With the second generation technologies, we have a way to directly access and work with the subconscious. You're able to change your own source code, rewrite your software. And this is a big deal because one, your results improve dramatically. And this is where we start to see medical miracles occur.
Mm.
So people that instantly heal from cancer or chronic pain or diabetes or HIV, and I've seen all those things happen.
Or your arm works again.
Yeah, when my arm instantly healed, exactly right.
Mm.
Why? It was a software problem. So second generation technologies would be things like EFT, motion code, theta healing, Psych K, NLP, things like that. So very cool, and they can do a lot of things. And I would say, in my experience, I don't use the first gen much. It's kind of a waste of my time. For
Mm.
the same reason that I don't drive a Model T from 1914 around the city. Why would I do that? It's old technology, right?
Mm.
I'd rather have a
Yeah.
new car that's safe and fast and comfortable and has a stereo and I don't have to hand crank to start it, right?
Tesla.
Yeah, so yeah, I actually have a Tesla. Why?
Oh,
It's
you
good
do?
technology. Yep.
Hey, but I gotta go into this. You gotta
One of
teach.
the
I
good
want to become a
ones.
practitioner like yours. I mean, like,
Yes.
if you're driving
The
a Tesla,
Teslas
I
between
want to get in.
2012 and 2019, some of the best cars ever made.
Okay.
Oh,
After
okay.
that, they went off a cliff. I wouldn't buy
Really?
one of the new ones. But yes, so the second gen is really good for physical health, emotional health, clearing trauma, opening up intuition, has a lot of great aspects to it. But there's a lot of things it can't do. And I would say the difference is that with the second gen technologies, the basic you on the inside is the same. We're just changing your code a little bit.
Mm.
If you want to see some of the higher level shifts, especially making way more money, confidence, the elimination of suffering, radical change in consciousness, that's doable, but not with the second gen. You need the third gen tools. That's what I'm most interested in. That I learned a lot from my late mentor, Carl. It's part of it is we shift from being word focused to body focused.
Mm.
So the second gen work is a lot of words. You check belief systems, right? In EFT, you make a statement and you tap on your body. The third generation isn't using words as much as physical movement. So a lot of
Mm.
somatic involvement, a lot of movement of your body, feeling your body, getting consciousness into your body. We combine that with some higher level meditations, such as the entrainments we do to turn on your psychic abilities, the ability to see auras with your open eyes. And when I say that, I'm not saying you're imagining it. No, you're seeing it like you're seeing a picture on the wall.
Mm.
And that's combined with these advanced entrainment meditations, with the study of what's often called awakening, a lot of non-duality, Advaita Vedanta, Buddhist philosophy, of really understanding what is consciousness, how does a human work, what is God, what is life, what is
Mm.
mass consciousness, how does that interact? And the third generation work, it has a steeper learning curve, for sure. It's weird. It's out there. It doesn't look like anything you've seen before, but it is phenomenally powerful. And the way I would describe it is all three generations have a place. So, for example, I live in Las Vegas. If I wanted to go to Australia, there is not one mode of transportation that can get me from my living room to Australia, is there?
Mm.
What I can do is I walk to my car, I drive my car to the airport, then I get on an airplane and fly over the ocean.
Mm.
So a lot of life is knowing what tool to apply for the job.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
it's not a matter of we only use the most powerful tools all the time. No, not even close. There are places for this first and second gen tools. And you need someone that knows what they're doing to be able to tell you, this is how you get from where you are to where you want to go. You do this, then you do this, then you do this. And if you're willing to engage the process, again, you can get there. What I tell all my students is the question is not, can you achieve your goal? The question is, are you going to give up before you get there? Just
Mm.
like if you told me, if you guys said, hey, we really want to learn to play guitar, I would say, great. First, buy a guitar, then I'm going to show you what to practice, right? If you're willing to work with me and practice, you will learn to play guitar.
Mm.
Everybody does, right? You may
Mm.
never shred like Eddie Van Halen, but you can get pretty darn good. And
Yeah.
consciousness is like that too. Everybody can learn to use their consciousness to heal their body, to make more money, to find love, to find your purpose, to eliminate suffering, that ascension of consciousness. Those are all known solved problems, at least with the technology I have. The biggest
Mm.
question is, are you willing to engage the process? So if you're not willing to practice guitar, you're never going to get good, are you?
Mm. Yeah.
You're not. Imagine someone that wants to be a guitar player, but is unwilling to spend a penny on it. You're not going to get very far, are you?
Well, yeah, or just even the practicing it. I mean, you can even buy a
Right.
cheap guitar, but you need to practice.
Yeah. Everything requires time and money, period.
Yeah.
Everything requires time and money. If you're not willing to apply the time and the money, that's okay. No problem. You can't do everything, right? But same thing. If it's really important for you to have a bigger career, it's like there's a process for that.
Mm.
It's not an overnight process. And again, it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to be a massive star at guitar, that takes some luck and some talent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But anyone can learn to play along with their favorite songs. And
Yeah.
consciousness is no different. Everyone can learn how to recode their subconscious. I can teach you in a couple hours. It doesn't take that long. And if you're
Mm.
willing to practice it, you can see legitimate miracles occur.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. But here's the kicker. We don't pick the miracles, they pick us. So this technology is not a magic wand that makes everything in your life exactly how you want it. That's not how it works. What it does is it opens you up to what you might call higher guidance.
Mm.
To use a
Okay.
musical metaphor, I remember one of my favorite bands, Fates Warning, and someone wrote a comment once on Usenet that was such a beautiful embodiment. They said, their music never takes you where you expect it to go, but always takes you
Mm.
somewhere better.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And that's such a
So,
great metaphor for life.
yeah, for
That if
sure.
you know how to align yourself with that higher power, however you choose to think of it, whether that's your inner guidance or God or your mission or your purpose or your karma, right? Lots of different words we use for it. Your life
Yeah.
can unfold and be something greater than even what you expected.
Yeah. Also.
But it doesn't always take you where you want to go or where
Mm.
you expected it to go. My mentor Carl would say that oftentimes life, when it takes you off your path, it always takes you back to it at a better place. And I think that's important. Are there
Yeah.
times it seems like we're going backwards? Yes, absolutely. Any mature adult knows that. But if you're willing to engage the process, I think you're going to be amazed at where you end up. And that's
Yeah.
been the story of my life. I really thought I was going to be a superstar engineer.
Mm.
And everything in my life supported that right up until it all blew up. In the 90s, people called me the next John Carmack. He was the guy behind Doom and Quake and the whole revolution of 3D computer games.
Mm.
I was doing that for MMORPGs years ahead of the big players, but I destroyed my body with overwork.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I experienced a genuine miracle with a healer that I saw, wow, I really thought I was just going to be an engineer. And maybe I would have made a lot of money, but honestly, I probably would have been pretty miserable.
But now you're an engineer of consciousness.
Now I'm an engineer of consciousness.
So you're still an
And it
engineer,
was
So
a
you got
very
you got
painful, yes, it
you
was
got
a very painful set of years when I was going backwards
yeah.
because I didn't know I was going to end up where I am, right?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
like we talk about in America, the Revolutionary War. You got to remember, the people fighting it, they didn't know they were going to win, right? They
Mm.
didn't have the benefit of looking back from history. They thought they were going to lose. That's what everyone thought. And that's what I thought too in my dark years. I thought I had just lost.
Mm.
But I was able to stay with the process long enough. Then I found Terry and had my first miracle healing. then I found, oh, okay, my purpose in life was not just to be a software engineer. It was to learn to be a software engineer and then apply all that skill and ability to consciousness.
Oh, amazing.
Because I would not be nearly as good as a healer had I not had my software background. Pretty simple.
Mm.
So it all kind of made sense eventually, right?
Mm.
Mm.
But I want to say, especially to the listeners who are in the middle of the drama, you go backwards sometimes and it sucks. But I guarantee it won't be forever. It can't be, right? At some point you die. So I guarantee it won't be forever.
Yeah, that's you just
And
you end
you know,
it.
the
You just like,
question,
please, gonna die. Please, gonna die.
yeah, that's how I felt. No joke.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
no, sure.
suicidal. I had a powerful death wish. I
Mm.
thought I was just going to end up dying in pain on the street somewhere. And that's exactly where my life was headed. And it's
Mm.
crazy how many times life has to push us right to that brink, you know?
Yeah,
That I'm like, why did I have to spend 5 years and end up almost $100,000 in debt before I found my path? Why couldn't it have happened more easily? I don't know. It just seems to happen a lot.
yeah.
But yeah, if
Mm.
you're going backwards, just know that's life leading you to a better place. And sometimes we have to let go of that which we like and are comfortable with to allow something greater. You know, I say it's like we've all had the experience of going to a shopping mall and you're looking for a parking spot, right? And you go, oh, I see one. And you get up close and you're like, damn it, there's a motorcycle in it,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? We've all had that happen.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's the point of that? Well, the motorcycle does not fill the entire parking spot, does it? No, just a little bit of it. But if there's a motorcycle parked there, you can't fit your car in.
Mm.
And that's a lot of our lives, that we get very attached to our success and our comfort and our small truth.
Mm.
But the universe has to pull that away from us to make space for a larger truth to fit into it.
Mm.
So as long as the small you is occupying your life, the big you can't fit. So we have
Yeah.
to be pulled out. And that's often a difficult and painful process. But
Yeah.
I forget who said it, but there was a great saying that life doesn't happen to you, life happens for you.
Mm. Yeah.
And there's a lot of power there.
Okay.
It seems like it's happening to us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
But if you're able to step back and see the big picture, you'll see it's actually happening for you.
Yeah. Sure. Well said. Yeah.
So I want to ask you a
Well
I
said.
question
guess, yeah,
about consciousness.
yeah.
Now, there's a bit of a, I can't say discussion or debate because people don't really know. So, and maybe you might have a better idea, but where does
hmm
consciousness actually come from? Because people say, some people say, no, it's from the brain, but it can't be because
No,
there's people that have been able to move out of their physical existence and they still have the consciousness. So it's not the brain. Yes, the brain is a receptor and receiver. It receives and it gives out to the rest of the body. But where is it? Where is it situated, this consciousness? Do you know, perhaps?
yeah, it's simple. Consciousness is the substrate. Consciousness is empty space.
Okay.
And if we look at the scientific research, Bruce Lipton made a big breakthrough 20 some years ago. What he discovered was in a multicellular organism like a human, the cells are getting their instructions from something outside of them,
Mm.
which is so interesting. If we look at the way a baby develops in the womb, we all start as one cell, don't we? And all the DNA is in that one cell, right? You get half from your mother, half from your father.
Mm.
But here's the thing. The DNA is just a blueprint. It's just a big recipe book on how to make proteins. So the recipe itself does not make a protein. It's just the information, the instructions, right? If I give you a recipe to make cookies, that recipe doesn't magically turn into a pile of cookies, does it?
Mm.
No. You have to get flour and water and eggs and sugar and mix them up and chocolate chips and then bake it. Then you have cookies.
Mm.
So the one cell with the DNA does not have all those ingredients. There is something outside of it, some field effect that is guiding the transformation. And that is really what Bruce Lipton found is he said, hey, it comes from outside the cell, but I don't know where. Grant McFederidge did some fascinating research. He found that there is a sort of master cell in the body that originates in your maternal grandmother. So it's a generational thing. This one cell starting in your maternal grandmother is the broadcasting tower for those signals. But where does it get its information from, right? So the scientists have done a great job of figuring out part of the chain. But at that point, the chain goes non-physical. And what it comes down to is pretty simple, that consciousness is the substrate of the universe. Everything is made out of consciousness. And I believe it was Ramana Maharshi that said, the world is illusion. Only Brahman is real. The world is Brahman.
Yeah, I was about to
In
say,
other
yeah.
words, and I think it was St. Francis that said, that which you are seeking is that which is seeking. So ultimately, the one, the non-dual, what we call creator, God, superforce, whatever cosmos, whatever term you want to put on that,
The
its
force.
fundamental nature is empty space, nothingness. That is consciousness, is that empty nothingness. And what happens is, if we look at the Big Bang, some of the theories of Nassim Haramein, I think, are really interesting. And I think he's on the right track, alternative physics. And what it comes down to is, I see consciousness as like a balloon. That you can go to a fair and you have a balloon artist that takes a balloon, right? And they twist it up and now it looks like a dog. Well, is it a dog? No, it's a balloon. But it's a balloon that's been shaped and folded to appear as a dog. That's the illusion.
Yeah.
But what happens when you untwist the balloon animal? You get a balloon back, don't you?
It's almost
So,
like an atom. 'Cause an
yeah,
atom's like it's like 99.9% just empty space.
yep. That's why consciousness is the fundamental substrate, is the same as emptiness. And what happens when you take nothing and you fold it and twist it? Well, you get what we call matter and energy. So the Big Bang was essentially creator God twisting nothing to create everything.
There we go.
But that everything can then collapse back and become nothing again. And the reason you will never find consciousness in the body is the body arises from consciousness, not the other way around.
Yeah.
The scientist Amit Goswami wrote some books about this, and I think he's on the right track. That the doctors are looking to go, how do we put biological cells together to get consciousness to emerge? I think it's backwards.
No, of course. Yeah.
We should be asking, how do we put consciousness together to get biology to emerge? That's what really happened. And when, I don't know if my worldview is perfect, but it's all internally consistent. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It fits the data, right? Though no guarantee, just because your theory fits the data is not a guarantee it's true. That's a huge mistake many people make, especially in the New Thought world.
Yeah.
A theory that fits the data is a strong candidate, but that on its own is not proof. To prove it, you have to experiment. You have to make predictions. That's sort of the heart of the scientific method. And that's what I want to do with consciousness. I would love to do larger scale scientific research projects to predict how we expect it to work and see if the experiment matches the prediction.
Yeah.
So one thing I've said for decades is the speed of light is not constant. That does not make sense. Now there's proof from the Hubble Space Telescope. We now know with absolute certainty the speed of light is not constant like we thought it was. It varies depending on the medium it travels through. And we also don't know that the laws of physics are the same all over the universe.
Yeah.
Why? That's an assumption we've made, right?
Yep.
We haven't been all over the universe, have we?
Yeah.
We've only been in one tiny spot, looking out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So this is where my mind goes to these big questions, because this is what's going to move society forward.
Yeah.
these discoveries, this is what moves the needle on life.
No,
And
100%.
thankfully for people like you that are doing it. So thanks.
Well, it's as they say, it's not a job, it's a calling.
Mm.
I would say anyone that thinks it's a good idea to become an energy healing practitioner or spiritual teacher because you think it's a good job is an idiot. It's a
Mm.
terrible job in a lot of ways.
Well, I mean, like I was hating my job so much. I tried to do the energy healing thing, and I went on many
Yeah,
courses and spent a lot of money. And I tried it, and it was horrible.
yeah. It's
Like I
really
went, yeah,
difficult. I would say the
yeah.
same thing about being a musician nowadays, that it's not a great choice for a career. But if that's who you are and it's your calling, you do it anyway, if that makes sense.
Mm.
It's almost like you don't have a choice. So, for me, this is a calling that I look at my life and I go, yeah, it all kind of makes sense that all this stuff had to happen so I could be here doing what I'm doing. And I want other people to have that too. It's really simple. I want them to find their calling, find their truth.
Okay.
And it's crazy how when you find your calling, you can beat the odds. You really can.
And
Amazing,
But
man.
if
Brent, how long are your courses? Do you have
um
certain amounts, or what's the?
yeah, I have two forms of my courses. What we call the quick start is the short form. Then I have the long form. The
Okay.
quick start is designed for people that don't necessarily want to be a healer or teach classes or anything like that. They just want to work on their own lives. That's about a 6-hour course. That's all it takes to learn how to work with the subconscious, how to reprogram your code, how to get to the
Oh,
theta wave, how to entrain into it, basics of movement, manifestation, beaming meditation. So
Okay.
6 hours to learn the basics, but then you have to practice like anything to build skill, right?
Mm.
mm.
I also have a long form training. That's the thorough A to Z, step by step, everything you need to know. That's about 64 hours. So
Okay.
much larger chunk of work, but that is designed more for people that either want to go really deep and know how it works, or maybe to be a professional or work with others or teach the work.
Okay.
I would say
Okay,
it's kind of like some people just want to drive their car. Some people want to be mechanics. The quick
okay,
start
yes.
is for people that just want to drive their car, right?
But
Use the
so,
power of the mind, make more money, heal your body. Great. The long form is for people that want to be a mechanic, that want to really know how it works and master it.
okay, so you're basically with the 6 hour course, you're gonna get the same like benefits, but you won't be able to become like the like
Uh,
like an instructor or whatever.
You'll get
uh,
most of the personal benefits.
yeah.
What it won't teach you is how to work with others to the same degree.
Okay,
And
cool.
it's a much shallower understanding. So, for
Wow.
example, if you want to drive a car, you just need to know how to shift the gears, right? In
Mm,
an automatic drive, reverse, park. That's easy.
yeah.
If you want to build a car, you need to know how that transmission works with gear ratios and torque and friction and all these things.
Okay.
So
Okay.
most people, I'd say about nowadays 70-80% of my students lean towards the quick start, which is fine because they just want to do the advanced work to help themselves and build their lives.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
I'd say about 10% come in thinking they want the quick start and end up in the long program
Yeah.
because they get a little bit up and they go, wow, this is cool. I have to know more, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like when I had
sure.
my first session with Terry, you know, my arm had been paralyzed for 6 months. I had had manipulations under anesthesia, worn Dynasplits at night, had physical therapists try to manipulate it. It wouldn't move. She did this healing on me for an hour. And my elbow went crack and I could move it again. It was crazy.
Um,
But that wasn't enough for me. I was like, some people would just go, thanks for the miracle. I'm out.
yeah,
I said, oh my God, what just happened? I have to learn this.
yeah, sure. I mean, I would
That was
too.
me, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to open the hood and see how does the engine work. I'm fascinated by this.
yeah.
And
So
Wow,
tell me,
okay.
again, it depends on how far you want to go with it. And everyone's a
if
little different.
if you do the long course, Brent,
Mhm.
do you certify the guys that do it for training
I do.
purposes?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. That
Okay.
I have 3 levels of certification.
Yeah.
What I call basic practitioner, that's a 16-hour course, what we call level 1.
Yeah.
The advanced practitioner has done the full 64 hours. And the highest level is Master of Awakening Dynamics, and there's only two of us on the planet right now, me and my top student, John Tiggy. And that's for someone that has put in years of practice, that basically to be a master, I have to have the confidence that you could sub for me on any teacher, class, or session, and you would do just fine. And I expect more in the future. It took John 6 years to get there.
Okay.
So it's a long road. But, honestly, to be a master of something in 6 years, that's actually pretty fast.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
If you look at martial arts, master is usually a 20 to 30 year process.
Yeah, that's why I hate it when you go on this weekend away and you become a Reiki master, and
you become a Reiki master after 2 weekends, right?
Like, come on, man!
Yeah, I think
don't
that's
touch
a
me.
little ridiculous.
You don't touch me. Don't come near me. I mean, I know Reiki, you don't even have to touch the person, but don't come here with those hands.
Yes,
weekend Reiki master.
So yes, I take the title of master very seriously.
Wow. So where did people find this course?
Well, it's pretty easy. I'm not doing them live right now. I might bring that back in the future. For 20 some years, I did them live several times a year. But nowadays, most people don't want a live course. They want to consume it at their own pace. That's why I created the current versions. They're designed as self-study courses. So some people do the whole quick start in one day. Others may take a month, and that's fine, right? So you pace it as much as you like your own timing. If you want to learn more, just hop over to awakeningdynamics.com. Other thing you can do, I would say, for anyone that just wants to learn a little more, go to my YouTube channel. That's what it's for, right? Go to YouTube, type in Brent Michael Phillips or Awakening Dynamics Technique. It'll come right up. So I'll keep you busy for a long time on YouTube if you're interested. If you are serious about wanting to go deeper, if you are interested in doing one of the levels of the training or private sessions or joining the community, which I think is huge, that one of the reasons I stopped the live sessions is I used to sell trainings and then the community was an afterthought. Now I offer the community right out of the gate. Why? The community is what creates your long-term success. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Nobody became a master of guitar on their own in their basement. Never happened. Nobody achieves high-level success with their health, with career, with love, with purpose on your own with free social media. Impossible. So the community is there. We have meetings 2-3 times a week. Everything's live. Whole bunch of people that are there to support you, to work with you, to answer your questions. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, and it's also great, like if you are experiencing something and you don't know, and you see other people in the group experiencing the same thing, it kind of like reinforces it, or say like, okay, no, this is a real thing. Like you're not just kind of just having some weird things that you don't even know if they're real or not,
And, there is no way around it. Supervised practice is the only way to build high skill, period. That whatever you want to learn, you want to be a great surfer, you want to be a great martial artist, you want to be a great guitar player, you have to practice and you have to have supervision of someone to correct you, to lead you, to guide you, right? That's what the community does. So people now, when they come, they go do either the quick start or the full form, up to you, whichever entry point you want, or you can have both. Then I say, please join the community, because you have to practice and apply it and get feedback to build skill. It's that simple. And of course, there are people that use it like what I call a miracle slot machine. There's nothing wrong with that. I live in Las Vegas. So you can, if you want, book a session with me. You pull the lever and we see if a miracle comes out. No guarantees, right? So some people, they go, Brent, I don't want to learn anything. Please don't make me practice. Okay, I hear you, right? Book a couple sessions with me. Maybe we pull the handle and a miracle comes out. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But for the people that are willing to learn and practice, the miracles are guaranteed. But we don't get to pick them. They pick us.
Yeah, sure. Nice. Love it, Brent. So we'll have all of that in the links in the show notes. Anyway, for any people listening, you can just go
Awesome.
there. But
Yeah,
that's
fantastic.
amazing. Geez, thank you, Brent. Anything
Yeah.
else there, Lee? Have you?
No, I just we very big, especially me, into this whole consciousness movements. I don't know if it's movement's the right word, but consciousness with frequencies and energies. And obviously, like I said, coming from the Rosicrucian order teachings and stuff, it's very everything that you've been saying there is so similar to the stuff that we've been learning, and it's just it makes you see life very differently as to
It does.
what we've been taught over the years,
Mm,
and you actually realize that unfortunately the schooling that you have as a child, in my own opinion, sorry, this is just my own opinion, is such a waste of time. Because half the stuff that well, actually 80% of the stuff that you learn at school is just BS. It's complete BS. You should be learning this stuff that you're talking about now in teaching. This is the stuff that we
mm,
should be actually learning in schools to
yeah,
better the
Yes.
world, to
sure.
better the things that we, that
Absolutely.
And
that's
that's
going
part of
forward.
my vision. I would love to help build schools, curriculum, institutions to
Yeah.
integrate this into our world because
Mm.
we learn everything better as children, don't we? Right? If
This
you
is
want to be
like,
a professional hockey player, you better start skating by the time you're 5.
Yeah.
Why?
yeah.
You just can't be as good if you start skating at 15. It's just not how the body works. So
Mm,
in the future, if you want to be a high level healer, intuitive, manifester, mystic, sage, we got to start training them young.
Mm,
And
yeah.
everybody should be a healer, in my opinion.
mm.
Yeah.
Everyone, I think everyone on the planet should do my quick start. Why not? Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Mm,
6 hours, you can do self healings, you can clear your space, you can clear blocks, you can manifest with the power of your mind, you can get to theta, all this cool stuff, right?
Mm.
yeah. Yeah. Sure.
How
Yeah.
many places can you go and change your life in 6 hours?
Yeah.
A lot of us are going to go watch 6 hours of TV today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not going to change your life, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
okay. I
Yeah.
like to watch TV too, right? No problem. But we got to
Yeah.
balance that with doing things that actually deliver return and results.
Mm.
And that's so key. That this will give you a gigantic return on your investment. It's that simple. And
Wow.
the reason I cram so much in there is I don't know exactly what piece you needs. So I'm going to give
Mm.
all to you.
Yeah. Lovely.
You
Yeah.
find the piece you like. It'd be like if I introduce you to different styles of guitar. There's, metal style electric guitar and flamenco classical guitar and country guitar. I'm going to give you all of them.
Yeah.
You pick the one you like, then go practice that.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
That's my goal.
Mm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. And also it's like meditation. People say to me they say, yeah, I meditate, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So like, how many times like a day do you meditate? Or they're like, no, I just do it like once or twice a week, and I'm like, well, then you're just wasting your time because like it's like going to the gym. You go to the gym, you got to do it like
Yes.
like constantly
Well,
every
I
day.
see
Like
that we should be meditating most of the time and only
yeah,
dropping out of that when you need the beta wave and the logical brain.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't think that, I
yeah.
think
That's
most
true.
people have it
Yeah,
backwards. If
yeah,
you
exactly.
meditate
Yeah,
15 minutes a day, that's great. Better than zero, right?
yeah,
I would say you should be meditating 15 hours a day and maybe 1 hour a day going up into your logical mind to use the beta brain because you do need it for some
yeah,
things, right?
yeah. Because it's a
I do some
tool. So
investing and trading. I need my logical mind when I do that, period. But
yeah,
don't stay stuck there. Don't stay stuck.
yeah. That's it. Because it's supposed to be a tool, but we like use it as our full consciousness.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brent, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
No, this
Really
has been
listen.
great.
inspiring,
Yeah.
man. I really enjoyed that. Very cool.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Brent, maybe sometime in the future, I'd like to bring you back on just to kind of, yeah, just we can chat a little bit about something else as well, going a little bit deeper into all this stuff. But
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
awesome. This has
absolutely.
been fun. I'd be happy to
Yeah,
do
I
it again.
love it. Love it. Love it.
It's been
Absolutely
fun.
love it. This topic for me is like my ultimate. I love it. Absolutely.
That's
Anyway,
why I'm here.
cool. Brent, yeah, and have a fantastic rest of your day. I know it's just begun. And
Thank you very much. Take care, guys.
cool, you too, man. And we'll send you, I'll cut it there, but I'll send you the once we've edited the thing, I'll send it through to you and then you can post it on your side as well. No problem.
That'd be awesome. Yep. We'll get it on social media. I won't drive you a
Awesome.
lot of traffic, but I'll send you a little bit.
Hey, look, you know what? For us, it's not about that. For us, it's just getting the
I'm
word
not that
out there.
important, but I'll send you a few. I got some fans. I got a small group of fans. They'll check it out.
Cool.
No, that's cool. That's
Also,
cool.
and,
Awesome.
and can you just send us a picture, Brent, of your face so we can put it on the thumbnail?
Yeah, let me do that. I'll send it in from my Gmail here. Just give me one
Yeah,
second.
great. And then
What I'll
sorry, there
send
was
you is my long form media kit. It has pictures and basically everything you're going to
yes,
want.
great, thanks. Yeah, awesome. And then sorry, there was someone trying to get into the waiting room. It was like someone to take notes or whatever, but then I thought, geez, if someone else comes in, then there'll be 4 squares here, and we wouldn't. I don't know what that was. Did you see that?
No, I think they're about to come from Brent.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like a
Oh,
thumbs
that
up.
might be my stupid AI note taker that I don't know how to
Yeah.
disable.
Yeah. No, that's fine. It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
I
guys
thought it
know
was
how to disable it, please tell me because I find it annoying.
I thought it was actually quite cool. Let's check his thumb.
Well,
Okay.
it's just I installed this program and it spammed itself all over the place, including into my Zoom. And I
Oh
uninstalled
my
it months
God.
ago, but it's still here.
Okay.
It's like that graphics card.
Yes, yeah. And you know what helped me solve the graphics card?
What?
AI.
Okay, so you just asked AI.
Yeah, I had spent like $400 on text. I took my computer in,
Oh
replaced the
my
card over and
God.
over.
Oh
30 seconds
no.
with AI. It's like, oh, there's a setting in Windows. Your card's turning off. It's powering down. Just tell it to never
That,
power down and problem solved. Boom.
gosh, and those tech guys, they didn't even $400 later.
But yeah, it took me a year to think of that. I'm like, oh yeah, I should just ask AI. And I had it solved just like that. It's crazy.
But the tech
It's
guys are like
crazy.
Oh man.
doctors. That they fix the hardware. That's it.
Yep. Yeah. They only
Yeah.
know what they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And of course,
Yeah.
they make money when you replace hardware, right? That's
Yes,
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. Yeah,
Same as
yeah,
the
sure,
doctors.
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Same as
Yeah,
doctors.
like
They make money when they
they were
replace
gonna cut
hardware.
your arm out. They were gonna
Yeah.
give you a new elbow.
Yeah, no, they wanted to cut open my wrist. They wanted to cut out my first rib. They wanted to cut out part of my scaling muscle. They wanted to do all these awful things. And at the time, I wasn't sure, but now I know I made the right choice.
Yeah, yeah,
The
sure.
one
Eh?
surgery I did have is what paralyzed my arm. It was
Oh
a botched
God.
surgery.
So
So
Wow.
yeah, definitely gotta
crazy.
check out your site there, Brent. Definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I think we need to get on that. We need to, yeah, I'm sold.
But
Hey,
hey,
Lee?
you guys want to learn this stuff? I got
Yeah,
people
of
in
course.
Australia. The time zones are a little bit difficult, but not
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah,
Not
100%.
impossible.
Nice.
Cool.
Awesome,
All right, very
man.
cool. No, this has been great. Be
Fantastic.
happy to come back in the future. Just reach out to me.
Yeah,
Awesome.
100%. Thanks,
Thanks.
Brent.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Brent.
Take care,
Awesome.
guys.
Okay.
I'm out.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Brent.
cheers. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Cool. Very similar. So a lot of the stuff he's talking about, it kind of reiterated the Rosicrucian stuff we're learning. That's like so cool.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
100%. Love it. Absolutely love that topic. And yeah, definitely want to go and check it out and see what it's all about.
Yeah, no,
And yeah,
it sounds like an exciting thing.
yeah, for our
Can't wait to see
listeners
it.
around the world, yeah, go check it out, man. I think it might be interesting. And especially if you're on that same path that we are, definitely check these things out, man. We're there to help you grow your toolbox, and yeah, help you to improve yourself. Go check it out, man.
Cool, man.
Cool.
All right,
Alrighty,
Lee.
thanks, man.
See you next
Yeah,
time.
thanks.
Cheers,
Yeah, thanks
guys.
everybody. Thanks for listening, and hope you like and subscribe as per usual. And yeah, check in next week. Cheers, cheers.
Cheers, Lee.